Hi there, Ruby Retrograde Tarot and Tay here, and what I'll be serving up for you guys is actually my second time having to do this. The first time I did the video, it unfortunately got cut off right in the middle of it. I thought about piecing it back together, kind of like editing and stuff, but then my issue is my computer, at least the one that would be best suited to do that job, is a grandpa at this point in time, and so it would take absolutely forever to do it. And I just kind of ate it. I ate the frustration, and I was like, you know what, just redo it. So this is a unboxing and flip through of LeTarot de Marseille par Polka. This, if you remember, was part of the unboxing I did of my big Japan ordering haul. It was one of the decks that I got from Japan. And so I had gotten it on this one website that sells new and used deck. This one was used. I got it for a good price. And this deck, as mentioned, is made by creators. Their name is Polka. This was, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was published first in Oh, I just realized my box broke, but that was because I dropped it on the ground. Side note. But this was published, I believe, in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. And so for a while now, it's not being produced anymore. It's not in production either by, I believe it's Fournier now that's doing it. Fournier or Grimaud. Here we see that it's France Carte, but I think France Carte is like a subdivision of Fournier / Grimaud, whatever. So, you know, it's by chance that I ended up finding this deck. Normally, it's not my style. It's not my aesthetic. The reason why I kind of got folded, or it kind of grew on me, was someone else in a server that was showing the tarot pulls that they were doing I think it was like a monthly challenge, or maybe it was a spread that they were doing. And it's just the cards had this funniness, but at the same time it gave me this like funny, sarcastic, dry, dark humor, but it is graphic. And so I'll tell you guys right away, if you're not into gore, if you're not into like dark humor or things like intestine being shown and stuff like that, this will definitely not be the deck for you, and you probably don't want to watch this video. Having done the flip through once, I can tell you that there are depictions of, like I mentioned, intestines, whether they're small or large, it doesn't matter. There are intestines. There are decapitation, like decapitated heads. There is also, for the knights, the horses, except for like one suit, the horses are not having a great time. I mean, one of them, I think you can see all the muscles, but you'll see through the furtle. But I'm saying, if you know that sort of imagery is too much for you guys, either skip when you see the car coming. I'll let you know also, like I'll pre-warn you, or just don't watch this video, because yeah, it does have a graphicness. The creator Polka, their style of art is I call it dark humor. And gritty, so it'll have even grotesque, I'll say. So, you know, it'll have stuff like I mentioned, like a dismemberment, or, you know, it'll be bloody, or yeah, it'll have things like that. So putting all of that in the way, so yeah, as I mentioned, I just realized when I dropped my cards last night, I split the deck. So this is a tuck box. This is the danger you run with tuck boxes. If they fall on the ground, sometimes they break apart, and I'm a bit sad about that. So I put the cards all back in order. And as you can see, this here, we have depiction of the cards. And see, this is what I mean, like with the style of depiction. This is the devil card, I already know. So you see, you have like dismemberment going on, even intestines here, like so if it's not your style, You've been pre-warned. And so because I got it from Japan, there was this extra little pamphlet to talk about the cards, the Celtic cross, and the meanings for the different cards. And the reason for that being, seeing as this deck was, I believe, printed out of France, the little white booklet here is a flip up French and English. All right, so you'll have here they're talking about the major arcana, here there, and in this page you're talking about the minor arcana, how to play tarot. So here they give you examples of certain draws, and in particular the particularity also with this little white book and how they explain things is that they mention, for example, for certain cards, when they are depending on what card is their neighbors, there will be additional meaning, like extra flavor to the meaning. Okay, and so here they talk about this is like a complete draw they talk about, and then they even have like a total draw when you almost draw the whole cards in a circle, like you almost distribute all 78 cards in a circle. So here, that's what I mean. Here we have, and then even here in the mid, in the explanations of the cards, here. So here they'll say M signifies moral and the letter P physical. So, you'll have an example. And here, this is what I meant. So if the magician, for example, comes with the Hierophant, with a fortune, 15 devil, judgment, the world, the fool, it'll have extra meaning to what we have here. And it's the same thing for the minors. So I'm pulling a page in like all random. So here you have the 9 of clubs. So on its own, it means something. And then with the Hierophant or the world, it'll mean something else. Okay. And then after that, we have these title cards. Now this, out of title card, this one is the least of the quote worst, because the back one is, it's even a little bit too much for me. I was like, I don't want to look at it too much. So as you can see, like, you have intestines going on, like the tripes. And as you can see, this is the back of the cards. They're not reversible because of how they did the skulls. So if you decide, so you can do reverse if you want, but you'll know automatically that it's reversed. Okay, so we'll put the title card over here. So what we're going to do is I will go and zoom in a bit, and we will look at these cards. For myself, it's the second time I'm going through the cards, and for you guys, it'll be the first. So I may not have as many things to say as what I did originally, but I will let you know if it's something a little bit more graphic. I don't remember exactly, like I do know the knights are a little bit more grisly, but I don't remember where all the grisliness is, but you'll see. So we'll start with, oh yes, and as you can see, because it's a Tarot de Marseille, the titles are in French. So Le Battleur would be the magician. And then this would be the High Priestess, or La Papesse. L'Impératrice, which is the Empress. Then the Emperor. And so far so good. I mean, like, having gone through the card ones, like so far so good, like nothing too crazy. I like the style of drawing. I think it's like hand drawn. There's something fun about it. I enjoyed the style of drawing. I like the details here on the sash, the shoulder sash going on here. This is really nice. And then the people are even like very expressive, like here for the Pope. Although it looks kind of a little bit of a mean Pope, because the way they're looking at those supplicant hands, it's like, nope, you're not getting the blessing, or fine, I'll give you the blessing, but you're annoying me, type of thing. And there we are. See, it goes well. Nothing to declare, nothing crazy. And then bang, you got the lovers. And as you can see, like, I mean, Cupid was going for it. Then the Chariot. This would be an example of what I consider like a bit grotesque. We have like this fused together horse. And I would have that face too, because I'm thinking, how the heck is this chariot gonna go anywhere where like with a horse like this? So I totally would have that face. And Justice, which is in position 8, as is standard with the Marseille system. L'Ermite. The Wheel of Fortune with the odd personages. Strength. This one I still kind of giggle, because if you kind of can remember the like either Marseille, whether it be Marseille or Rider-Waite-Smith, this for the strength card, the woman who's holding the maw of the lion or whichever beast, she looks like serene and calm and sure of herself. Here, like, this person is fighting, like it is taking all the effort, like 4 big drops of sweats. It looks like she's not having a good time, or it's an easy time. Like it's taking her might to control this. The Hanged, I mean, yeah, it's not even by the foot. Then La Carte Sans Nom, which would be Death card. It's a chop. We chopping. Temperance. Here I'm like, what's the point? They're pouring, but they're not pouring into the other vase. They're not paying attention. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on to this card that I'm not even paying attention to, like where I'm pouring my stuff. And then the Devil, like we saw on the cover of the box, I mentioned, as you can see, dismemberment, and they're like tied together by the loins, by their guts. Then the Tower. Listen, I have simple humor sometimes, and just underwear showing. Okay, don't mind me. Then L'Étoile, which is the star card. Not looking as peaceful, but I mean, the Moon. The Sun. It seems like this is the Sun where it's still enjoyable, but getting to the point like of a heat wave. Like we're still enjoying it, but ooh, it's a little, it's like, you know, a little bit more, it's gonna start to get too much. Then the Judgment. Now this one, every time I'm like, why? Because we have this angel like figure. It seems like they're like putting this person on the spot, like, you did not do this, and how could you do this? This one person here is like it sucks to be you, I'm laughing at you. And then this person is like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be next? Like, oh no. And this person looks like, oh my gosh, like, am I gonna make it through this judgment? So whether you read it as like judgment being like, okay, here's your opportunity to level up, or like time to pay the piper, because it's time to, like, you know, pay or answer for your actions. Like, this one is a you, what did you do? Then the World. And kind of interesting, we have like the intestines here, kind of making the circle. They're kind of like enveloping everybody. And the weird, like, again, the weird like lion / angel larvae. I don't know. And then 22, which we would see normally as card 0. That's the Fool. And they're looking a little bit of a simpleton, I do have to say. Now, I put them back, the court cards back together according to how it was in the booklet. So in the booklet, they put together all the kings together, and then all the queens, etc., etc., etc. So these are the kings. So les rois. And you can see all the difference here. And you can see how like some are just like a bit more happy, some are kind of odd, and then some are just like not grotesque, like gory, dark. So it seems here this guy probably came back from a battle. This guy is just kind of got his emotions going on. This king, I don't know, sees nothing but money. Like so rich he can replace his eyes with pentacles. And then the poor sap, I don't know what happened to this guy. Like he was so authoritarian or too fiery that he got it. Now we go with the queens. So we have the Queen of Wands. Like low-key, because of the blood, I feel like she's the one that off the previous king. Which king was that again? The King of Wands. I feel like she's the one that offed him. That's my story. Then the Queen of Cups. Once again, I really like the details here, the patterns, but I don't know what's in there other than guts and stripes. The Queen of Swords. I feel like the King of Swords offed his wife. That's my story again, and I'm sticking to it. Or maybe that's Marie Antoinette, for all we know. And then the Queen of Pentacles. And there. Now these are the knights. So I'm, once again, skip the whole night. Like, skip the whole night series, because except for one and only suit, the horses are not having a good day. So these are the wands. And this right there is the only suit where it's mildly okay. And that horse is pissed. And I would be pissed if I saw the other horses in the other suits getting horrible treatment. So this is the cup, the Knight of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords here. I have no idea why this horse is skinned. And we have the Knight of Pentacles with a skeletal horse. And again, the eyes with the pentacles. That's probably why it's going so slow. So slow the horse is dead. Now we have the page. So the pages. That is the one of Wands. The Page of Cups. My goodness, the poor saps, the poor court people. We have the Page of Swords. And then the Page of Pentacles once again. You know what? I kind of wish, I don't believe that Polka made one, but if there were a book to explain the madness that was going on when the, like, the madness, just the madness process into like creating these cards, because I feel like I need to know. And so now I think, yes, I think they're still assembled by number. So now we're with the numbers of the minors. So now we're going with the tens. And here there's a little bit of difference to how they're set up, and I'll kind of explain it as we go along. It kind of mixes me up, I do have to say, like, having gone through it, because they're not laid out in a typical Marseille setup. So for example, here we have the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Cups are okay. The 10 of Swords, I mean, it's pippish, it's Marseille. 10 of Pentacles, clearly 10 Pentacles, that's fine. And then we go to 9. Here again, like, it's relatively fine. You have the 1 central and the 8 other ones going through it. 9 of Cups, still, that's fine. And you got your intestines going on. Then here you get to the 9 of Swords. It's not 9 swords. You have your central swords and then 8 strips of guts making up the rest of the swords. So when I first looked at it real quickly, I'm like, why is this an ace of swords? I already have the ace of swords. But this, you have to count these as part of the 9. So it's a little bit of a downside to me. I mean, like, if it's 9 of swords, I want to see the 9 swords. But as you can see here, the 9 of pentacles, no issue. Then we have the 8. Once again, it's all there. 8 of cups. This is one of the prettier cards. I like this one. And here again, see 8. Now they're doing it with flowers. So we have 6, 7 flowers, and then the 8 being the sword. Then 8 of pentacles. Now 7 here. This is where you can see for the wands, it kind of goes a little bit wonky. Because now I still haven't quite figured out what I'm supposed to count to make the 7. Like, this would be 1. And then that means I'm missing 6. So either I'm counting the loops, like 1 and 2 and then 3, but then there's also that other, like, I'm not sure. So I think it would be 1 and then 2 going on, 3 going on. But I still have 4 more things to count. So I'm wondering if they're like 3, 4, 5, or wait, what was I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, I'm at 7. No, that still doesn't make sense. Anyways, I'll have to figure it out. But at least there's the Roman numerals on the sides. So 7, see, no issues. Here you can see it's actual 7 swords. No problem. And no problem for the pentacles. Now we're back with an actual, 6 wands. We're good. Cups are good as well. And here, 6. So we have 1, 2. 3 would be here. And then, like, I'm not sure how to count, like 4 or 5 here. But then you have these other extra branches. So it's things like that. Like, or like, just overall looking at the card, it's nice design wise, but to count those 6, like, where am I counting 6? And in fact, like, I thought the first time that it was wands. It only when I noticed this, I realized that it wasn't. It was swords. And then pentacles. Then we have the 5 with the impaled heads. 5 of cups. 5 of swords, same issue. 5 of pentacles. Now we're at the 4s. 4 of wands, and it seems like it's hurting them. 4 of cups. 4 swords, and now here, clearly defined 4 swords, we're good. 4 of pentacles. 3 of wands. And 3 of cups. See here, another, like 1 and then 2, 3. 3 of pentacles. Now we have our 2 of wands. The 2 of cups, which looks a little bit more like a classic Marseille design style. And even the 2 of swords looks a little bit closer to the what you would see on the classic Marseille. This one definitely looks like a typical Marseille style. And now we are at the aces. So the ace of wands, the ace of cups, very abundant looking. The ace of swords, very victorious looking. And then the ace of pentacles. And then this is the last card, kind of like the closer card. And this is the one that, like, I can't quite look at it too much because it kind of icks me. I don't know, the end title cards. So here you have it. Here, I'll put it aside. I just don't want to look at it, and I'll put the other cards beside it. the Tarot de Marseille by Polka. Now, the cardstock, I will say, is quite nice. It's a France carte, which I think, like I mentioned, is related somehow to Grimaud, and I find the Grimaud cards are very nice. They have a good, they're on the thin side, but it's not because they're thin that they're not strong. They have a good bend. And even with that good bend, it feels like they won't necessarily fold or bend back as easily. So I like the Grimaud cards because I feel they're fun to shuffle. Okay, so if I go like this, look at this. So overall, this is definitely a deck that I'm going to be getting used to, because like I mentioned, normally this type of gory, I would put it like in the same category as Deviant Moon, and Deviant Moon is not my aesthetic / style, but mind you, me and my not my style went and ordered that Triomphe de la Luna, because it intrigued me to the point that I was just very annoyed, and I'm like, I just can't. I need to figure out why. But it's definitely, like I mentioned, this deck, when I was seeing, looking at the cards and seeing them, it gave me this like dark humor, sarcastic type of vibe. Like, I mean, the Lover's card is an example, or the Tower card with, like, you know, showing the undergarments as they falling off. I don't know. It's silly humor, but at the same time, it has like this goriness or things like that. But anyways, I'm shuffling out of habit. This flipped out. Good old Queen of Swords, and I'll give you an example of how. Oh, this is French. We will go to the Queens. So we have here the Queen of Swords. Now, and I have to say, with Marseille, their meanings sometimes they're so, I call it rude, but it's like so unapologetic. So for example, here, Queen of Swords, authoritative woman morbidly obsessed by other people's opinion. On its own, poisons the life of people surrounding her. I mean, like, if you were to read that to somebody, how would they feel if you're like, oh, so you're the type of person that like nobody can stand because you just suck the life out of everyone? Like, how? Like, okay, of course, like, you try to butter me up, but Marseille, to me, reading Marseille is very cut and dry and does not fluff. And here, you know, reading on its own, the little different blurb they have for on its own, it kind of explained this here. It looks like one of those, like, you are so annoying, someone did away with you type of thing. Okay? And so it's one of those. And then here there will be an example, like, let's say there would be the Wheel of Fortune that was next to the Queen of Swords. Then it's things get better if the consultant goes away on the journey. It's almost like, dude, you're very annoying, just go away for a while. So here it's just one card usually. And so yeah, there you have it. So Marseille, I would be more likely to kind of read it more for myself, because I don't know, like, if you get a card list, like, it would be very hard to kind of pass it nicely to someone else without them feeling targeted or insulted, or like you're I don't know, putting them on the spot. But in any case, that, everybody, is the Tarot de Marseille by Polka. Why am I zooming in? I won't zoom out. Sorry, guys. So tell me, guys, what do you think of this deck? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it your style of aesthetic? Is it your style of cards? Would you be... Oh, let me not show the knights because poor horses. Is this the kind of cards that would suit you? Is it... Do you kind of get the little sarcastic humor going on? Or... Yeah, or I feel like this deck would kind of be a polarizing style, kind of like a deviant moon. You like it or you don't. You find it, you find it not cute, but you like it. You find it pretty, or no, it's too much. It's gruesome. It's like no need to be that violent, like quote unquote. But in any case, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, right here. Boop boop. And until next time, thank you for spending the time to watch this second unboxing. Hopefully, cross your fingers that I don't have to do it a third time, or else I just might not do it. But anyways, thank you guys. Bye bye.